Has buying too much merchandise got you in a world of trouble and a lot of debt? Well, I can tell you that I'm pretty guilty of that. You see, I've seen myself as kind of a hoarder. I'm not a hoarder in the sense of the show Hoarders, but maybe I am because I find that I'm a retail hoarder. Now, this garage is what is left of a huge 5,000 square foot building of stuff that I was hoarding. Now, most of it is gone and it's went away onto trucks and been donated to Salvation Army and Goodwill. And I'm just down to still a couple hundreds of thousands of pieces, maybe. But I've made this mistake several times by buying too much. So, I want to talk to you today about merchandise and maybe how to avoid this situation. So, when you're first starting your business, you're thinking, oh, I need to get this. I'm going to buy all of these tools and supplies and I'm going to start my business. And that's all great and dandy. But sometimes, in order to buy things at cost, you need to buy them in bulk, which is like these boxes up here. These boxes are filled with tutus and skirts that I had my manufacturer make for me overseas and bring in on his container on my behalf. Now, I'm talking ordering 6,000 skirts at a time so that I can piggyback on his container. And that's a good way to do it if you don't want to be an import exporter yourself and you don't know the ins and out of freight and having things shipped overseas. Now, I know that some people will buy things on Alibaba and they will have it sent to them. And the kind of expensive way is to have it sent by air, but that's a way to start getting in your samples if it's just a small shipment and you just want to test everything out, maybe the quality of the product. But when it comes to purchasing that full order, you're going to need to sometimes have it bring on a shipping container, which can take months to get here to the US. So I would have my distributor bring in containers for me or boxes on his container. And this is kind of some of the boxes. Now, mind you, these are just a few. And let me flip this around and show you the other side. Okay, and on this side, I have more containers and more boxes and more stock. Now, this is a problem, especially when there's a downturn in business. Now, I have all of these boxes filled with stock. Not only do I have stock boxes, I have boxes with all of my logoed bags, and I have tons and tons. These I get in at 10,000 pieces every time I order them in. So there's just so much, and this whole place is just filled with boxes. But this is not my only shop. So I have another shop. So I wanted to break here and show my other shop that has more containers, more boxes, more stock, more of everything. So you can see how much money I have invested in my business and tons and tons and tons of merchandise. So I'm just going to turn around over here and show you more of the chaos, junk, and stock that I have bought. And some of this stuff is, I can't even get by. So I'm a very organized hoarder, I would say. I keep everything very well in containers and I keep them organized, but this has got to go. So, I think what I'm going to do today and maybe for the rest of the weekend is try to get rid of some of these things. These were ideas that I had. These are hopes and dreams that never came into fruition. These are filled with these little dresses that I had made. And I made these years ago. And these are tons and tons of, let's see if I can get through here. I've got kids home from college that they decide to dump their stuff with mom's stuff. But this is a problem right here. Let me just show you this. This is a problem here. And let me show you something like this container here where I got these at a really great price when I was doing my first business. And I ended up put that on the floor and I will show you. I ended up buying about 50,000 of these here bracelets that I could add my bottle caps onto. And as you can see, these never got made. Yes, I made a few, but I still have been toting these things around for probably the last 15 years, okay? And not just that one there, there's another one here. Again, I'm an organized hoarder, but I am a hoarder when it comes to business products. More. And look at this. It even has my old company name on it, Tippy Tells. And I'm sure it's got, yep, I was gonna decorate these. These are all projects that you think you're gonna do, you're gonna sell, you get an idea, and you start buying, and you start overbuying and cluttering. And I'm guilty of that. I mean, there's more bins down there. This is my sewing machine. Let's see what this is. Oh, yeah. One year I decided, hold on, let me just find a place for this. One year I decided that I was going to make pens. Ah, let's get this up here because I'm an organized hoarder. But one year I decided that I'm going to make, let's see what we can do here. Let's move this around. Okay. And I'll show you. I'm stuck in here, guys. I'm really stuck. Okay, let's turn it this way. And oh, oh my gosh, there's so much dust in here. But one year I went to a trade show, and that's the thing, you gotta watch trade shows. And I thought, I'm gonna make buttons. I'm gonna make buttons for the little girls that are having birthdays. And I'm gonna make all these buttons. So what did I do? I bought hundreds of buttons. I've never made but maybe one or two buttons just for my staff so we could just test it out and see how the buttons would look. But this is when you are a retail hoarder. Oh my goodness me. More buttons. More buttons. So I, I think this is the back sewing for the front side, but I wouldn't know because I didn't do it. So that's another project that didn't happen and cost me a couple $1,000s. I bought a let me see here. I bought this guy here at the show as well. And this is a button press. Somehow I can't remember how to do it, but I think you put the button on here, you press it down. Try on the other side, you press it down. Never used. I am what you call a business hoarder, retail hoarder, because I have all these ideas circling in my head and I want to make everything. And then you end up with a lot of debt and a lot of boxes and stuck in your garage where you can't move because you're just inundated by stuff. Oh, you want to see something else that I got that was at a trade show? So I'm going to warn you, if you go to trade shows, be really careful. So up here in this container, I'm going to step back. If you have this problem, you let me know. How many hairbrushes did I need to buy? Thought I was going to decorate them and turn them into something special for my business. So not only do I have this container, I probably have about 3 or 4 more just like this filled with hairbrushes. When you have a business, this is what gets you in the most trouble. Merchandise. And buying merchandise that you think will sell, but you're not sure, but you want to test it out. Okay, let's put this back. All right. Let's see what else I've made a mistake buying over the years. Um, How about all of this crap? Let's see if I have a button that I actually made. So let me see if I can get through, which I can't, get through this hoard. Uh, gonna Again, I've got my hoard, and then I've got kids who are in college trying to come home and bring things. And okay, so here's more hoards. These are all hair bows and ribbons. Now, mind you, this is nothing compared to what I used to have. I used to have tons and tons and tons of stuff. So, this is the other thing I bought one time, okay? Let me show you. Now, when I had my retail store, mud pie was huge, and it probably still is, but it didn't sell for me. So, I've got now, and again, it's organized chaos, all these baby rattles. I've got all these baby rattles that were in my store that I never sold. They really didn't move. So now I'm stuck with all these rattles, and I don't do baby anymore. That's a whole nother thing. Baby is really tough, and there's a lot of laws. Oh yeah. One time I wanted to make aprons, so I decided to go to Joann's, and I had probably gathered about 80 aprons, and luckily I was able to turn a lot of them back in, which I think I will try with these too, because I never ended up making these aprons. Um, I didn't have the receipt, but thank God the manager saw that they still carried them, and he just gave me a store credit. So actually, while I have these out, I'm gonna go back. But the thing is, like, FOMO, it's fear of missing out that causes you to retail hoard, or excitement that you're gonna make a lot of money. So this is another hoard. Let's see. Christmas, mud pie Christmas stuff, bows, just tons of stuff. I have a little clip of me throwing away things, because what tends to happen is when you start hoarding like this, and again, mine is organized chaos because I have dwindled it down to a few things I thought that maybe I can sell, and it just doesn't get put up. Let's see here. Who's this guy? Santa Claus. This was in my store. This was made by Mud Pie, and it looks like the date stamp is copyright. Oh my goodness. What does that say? 2012? And a long time. So, I don't know. If you don't list your products up for sale, they will never sell. If you don't list your products up for sale, they will never sell. These are things that I couldn't sell on my Etsy shop. I never got around to photographing for my eBay shop, so they ended up just sitting here. And I couldn't sell them on Etsy because I did not make these. Because they are mud pie or whatever brand, let me get something to wipe my hands. Hold on. Because they're mud pie or a different brand, I can't sell them on Etsy, and Etsy was my main focus for so long. And on Amazon, I would never dare to sell another person's brand on Amazon, especially as much as it takes to get approved on Amazon. I would never risk my account selling Mud Pie's brand or another company's brand, because I don't know the quality of the work. Well, that's not true. I do know it's really good, but you can get flags for trademark, and you can, get in trouble. You have to have certain permissions from the brand to be able to sell their stuff on certain marketplaces. So let's talk about that in my next video. That saying, things get better with age, or aging like fine wine. Yeah, that all makes sense for some things, but not a lot of sense for your products. Today we're going to talk about what happens when your product ages. They no longer look cute anymore when they crumble and don't tumble onto hair, because they're just old.